Okay, so I just did a quick review of that first video to see how it went. And good news, the audio is working this time. But I did notice that my safety glasses are certainly stylish. What can I say? I'm styling. Okay, my plan this time, sorry about that. My plan this time, I think this is going to be a fairly quick video, but I am going to do this a couple of times. So when we did the rough-in, we intended for this to be a switch, and so I'm definitely going to install a switch here. But then I think at the same time, I'm just going to yank it right back out, and we're going to assume that this is actually supposed to be a plug, and I'm going to do the installation of a plug here in this same box with these same wires. Okay, so for starters, this is going to be a switch. So let's deal with this as a switch. So our switch does not have a ground on it, and so I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it up and tuck it back into the back of the box. And I'm going to do that over on the left side of the box, knowing that the screws of my switch that are going to be live are going to be on the right hand side of the box. Okay, next thing, what do we do with the white wires? Well, this is just the neutral going through the circuit, so we're just going to put them together. So we give them a twist. Do I have my lineman pliers? I do not. I'll get my lineman pliers out. Remember that the Moret does not offer any mechanical connection. I'm going to snip that end off of there. The Moret simply offers insulation. And I don't seem to have a Moret. I don't have a Moret handy. I thought I was prepared. That's the one thing I don't have. Well, I'm not going to liven this up anyway. I'm just going to get it out of our way. Okay. I got thinking about doing the plug as well as the switch and forgot to get everything I need for the switch. And finally, to connect to the terminals of the switch, we need to roll these wires up, right? So we use these holes on the side of our wire strippers, and we're going to roll that up, okay? If you are right-handed, then that's what you're doing, right? You're going to roll these up because you're going to be connecting these on the right-hand side. If you happen to be left-handed, all of your wires, when you curl them, you have to curl them down because you're turning the device over and you're connecting it here with your left hand, right? For the bulk of us, we're right-handed. We are going to be curling those up, hook them underneath, and make our connections nice and tight. Okay, there we go. We're done. And now we're going to fold up the wires. So we can't just shove this back inside the box. Okay, it's going to be very difficult. You want to fold the wires and curl the wires and just tease it a little bit. Okay, and it just accordions in there very nicely. And that switch stays fairly central. Okay, it doesn't end up all twisted and all bent around the box. Okay, so that's for the plug. Okay, without a Moret on the neutral. Sorry about that. Talk about being unprepared. Let's take this back off and let's do this again, installing a plug. So I have a plug here. Let's get our wires back out. Okay. This is where things get a little tricky because I've bent these wires, and once they're teased into a particular shape, they like to stay that way. But with the lineman pliers, I can probably bend these back into shape, not too bad. And let's get our bond back out of here because we are absolutely going to get a chance to use it this time. So I've got the two black wires curled up. I'm going to curl all of them up. So the two white ones and the bond also are going to get curled up. So everything's curled upwards. And that's because when we're right-handed, we are going to make all of our connections on the right-hand side. So just like with the keyless, which we didn't talk about yet, probably won't actually. You got to figure out something when you get in the lab. There are silver screws and there are brass screws. And we attach the black wires to the brass and the white wires to the silver. Okay? But I always have to think about the colors because I don't even worry about the colors anymore. We've got the ground lug on the same side as where we're going to place the neutrals. And so we always make our connection in the same order. The bond wire is our safety net. That's our protection. That's our lifeline. Okay, so we always want to connect it first. The white wire completes the path, so we want to offer that complete path so that we don't become that path. And then finally, it's the hot wires that get connected last. Now, of course, we know they're not live because we have we've disconnected, locked out, tagged out. We've done all the necessary safety procedures to ensure it's not live, but we still work on everything based on the assumption that it might be. Okay, and if you always work on it as though it were live, then you're never going to become part of the circuit on that off chance that it might actually be. Okay, so layers of protection. Okay, we are protecting ourselves in so many different ways that even when things go catastrophically wrong, we still don't end up in the middle of the circuit. Okay, because we have connected the lifeline first, the return path second, and that wire that might potentially be hot last, and we never get into the circuit, we never get into trouble. But in addition to that being a really good safety practice, it helps us in terms of our work procedure. Okay, so step one is our lifeline. We'll connect that. Oh, I picked a terrible. Oh dear, that is so stripped I can't even type it. We kind of got it. It's going to have to do. Okay, now on the same side of the switch, we can connect our two white wires. Okay, so without even thinking about it, the ground wire first, the two white wires next, still working here on the right side of the plug. Okay, I tighten these in. And then I'm ready to roll the plug over. So I take the wires and I just tease them around this way. And now I can connect my two black wires. And once again, we're going to tease this into place. So I'm going to try to get all those wires to go up to the top of the box first. And I'm going to bend them down towards the bottom of the box like that. And then I can just take the plug and push it back into the box. Okay. Just like that. And it sits not too badly. Okay. So there we go. That's how we're going to do our trim out. Okay. That's a little bit ugly because unfortunately that plug has been beat up quite a lot. Maybe when I take it off, I'll just throw it right in the garbage. But that's our trim out. And I want to turn my camera around to the panel. We're going to do a little bit of work in the panel, and that'll be the third video.